Hey everyone, Kensurfs here. We're in the shave den and it's time for another shave. Well, it's July the 2nd and I was supposed to be doing a shave today with the soap Chillin', collaboration between Hendrix Classic and Company and me. Only thing is the video is going to be delayed about 1 week because the items are not currently in stock at Hc&c. And yeah, I don't want to do a video of something that is not available yet. So I've been pushed back about a week. I also have some PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement Soap, that I was going to do a shave with, Doppelganger number 3. But that they don't want, that won't be released till about the 11th. So those two items I was going to already have done a shave with you, but they're going to be postponed. And we're going to be having the contest on the Kensurfs collab with Hc&c, and we're going to be doing a couple of giveaways. But again, if they're not in stock, I don't want to do that video. I hate doing that to you guys, saying, hey, here's something, and it's not available. So it's going to be delayed about a week, and it'll be coming. But since it's 4th of July in 2 days, probably be this video will probably be released tomorrow, which will be the 3rd of July. You'll be seeing it probably Thursday. But I'm going to be using, it's summer, it's 4th of July, it's California, it's hot out, very hot out. I was at the beach the other day. I'm going to be doing something that's kind of cooling, and I haven't done it in about 3 months. I'm going to do Sterling's Margaritas in the Arctic. Again, I was going to be doing a shave with other items, but I really need it. You see, I really need it. It's coming in as about 4 days growth, and I need to get this off. So I'm going to be doing that today. I'm going to be using one of my favorite razors. Everybody says, hey, what's one of your favorites? This is one of my favorites. This is the Merkur 34G. And I started polishing it. And see, I'm starting to polish some of the plating off. So I'm not going to polish this anymore. I mean, this is probably 9 years old, and it's held up really well. It's a 2-piece. If you haven't seen me use this razor in the past, I've got a Wilkinson Sword Gillette in there. This will be the second time for that blade, second use of that blade. I'm going to be using this today. And somebody said, hey, you don't use a lot of boar bristled brushes. And I do. I've got boar brushes and I've got badger brushes. But, you know, someone said, hey, you haven't used a boar in a while. Well, look what I've got. Brand new in the packet. I got a Semogue Boar, red, unopened. I'm going to be using this for the first time. And if you've used a badger or a boar brush for the first time, you're probably going to notice it smells like wet animal when you use it for the first time. But, man, what a nice ruby color. In fact, I think I've got the badger. I got the Semogue Badger here that I use a lot, and here is the Semogue Boar. So one of you had asked, hey, you know, I haven't seen you use a boar bristle. I'm new to the channel. I'm going to be using this today, and it is very stiff. If you're using a boar brush for the first time, it's going to take a little while to get broken in. It's going to be very, very stiff, very hard backbone. You just got to break it in, and it'll soften up. Probably in 4 or 5 uses, maybe a bit more, but we're going to use this today. So I'm going to put it inside. Oh, it's a little too much water. Someone says, why do you put it below the glue line? This is very warm water here, almost hot water, and I just don't want anything messing with the glue. So when I put it in, you can see how deep I put it, just below the glue line. So we're going to be using that today. So welcome. Hope you've had a great weekend. Like I said, I've had the relative out, seen a bunch of movies, watched a bunch of movies on Prime. In fact, if you've seen The Old Guard, I think Old Guard 2 is out now with Charlize Theron. My cousin and I haven't watched that yet. Going to dinner tonight with tonight with the relatives, tomorrow night with the relatives, and it's a busy, busy week. And we're nice. It's nice to be back here with you. I know someone's going to say you're talking too much. Let's get the shave going. I'm with you, my friends. So let's wet the face, and I'm growing out the goatee. One of the big exercises I have for this week is, if you don't know, you can't tell by my accent, but I was born in Newcastle, England, and I have dual citizenship. I'm a United States citizen, and I also have a British passport. England considers me to be dual citizen. And I have not renewed my American passport's current. I haven't renewed my British passport since 2007, so I'm renewing it. We're thinking about going back to Europe, back to England, and it's kind of nice to have a choice. Last time I went in '96, there were 2 lines. One line with nobody in it and said British citizens. And the other line said everyone else. And I said, well, I told my wife, see you on the other side. And she goes, oh, no, you're going to sit with me. So I went through with my American passport. When they opened it up, it says birthplace, United Kingdom. And he said, welcome home, Mr. Kirka. But I could have zipped through and had a coffee and probably lunch by the time she would have made it through. But the pissed off wife will ruin your life. So, all right, here we go. There we go. Plus, my kids want to travel to Europe and stuff, and my kids would be dual citizens too. So it's nice to have. Oh, there we go. It's nice to have a choice, right? Nice to have a choice. When I got sworn in as a U.S. citizen in 1987, I had my British passport, and I had to turn in my green card. I'm an immigrant. I had a green card, and I had to turn it in, and I had the British passport, and I went to turn it in. They said, sorry, we can't accept this passport. That's property of Her Majesty's government. You have to turn it into the British consulate. So I called up the British consulate, and I said, hey, I just became an American citizen. I need to turn in my British passport. Where do I send it? And he goes, did you come to the British consulate and renounce your British citizenship in front of a magistrate of Her Majesty the Queen? And I said, no, I did not. And then they said, well, then we consider you a dual citizen. And I said, whoa, well, that's kind of cool. I can get drafted at the time by the British Army, or if there was a draft, and I could get drafted by an American Army if there was a draft. So, yeah, there we go. All right, here we go. Nice. Nice. Oh, getting rid of that. It's been itching. It has been itching. Yeah, so don't polish your gold-plated razors. Don't, unless they're, they're not going to be solid gold. Don't polish them. Just, use soap and water. Keep them clean. Hey, look. The bat boar sheds, and that's what's going to happen. So what's going to happen with a brand new brush? It's going to shed. Not a lot, but it will shed, and then after several uses, you'll be down to the bristles that aren't going to come loose as easy. There we go. It's going to be a loud 4th of July. I know in California and certain cities, safe and sane, they call it, safe and sane fireworks are legal. Huntington Beach, where I live, is one of them. Had a lot of fun when I was a kid growing up here on the 4th of July, lighting off fireworks. And then for about maybe 20 years, they made them illegal. And now, for the last probably 7 years, they've been legal again. So you can really, if you got your family over, you can do a nice picnic, do a nice show, have a nice display. Or, if you don't have that, you can always go down to the displays that, a lot of places are putting on. All right, margaritas in the Arctic. I want to make sure I talk about the soap. The only reason I don't talk about it so often is because I've used this a dozen times in a dozen videos, but this is ice cold. My face is cold. This is very, very menthol, very, very, very cold, very slick soap. Smells fantastic. It's oh man, it's gonna make your eyes water. If you haven't used it, I highly recommend it. It is an awesome, awesome soap. The aftershave is very, very intense. All right, let's add a little more. Gonna wet that a little more water on that. Don't want it too dry. There we go. And on the 4th in 2 days, I'm doing a 5K with my daughter and my son-in-law. That ought to be fun. I can still run pretty good, and I've got a long stride. I'm 6'3", you know, a tall height, so I've got a long stride. And my son-in-law, though, you know, he's in his 30s, so that guy can run that 5K in probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Me, 35 minutes. Oh, look, it shed again, see? So there you go. See some shedding, brand new brush right out of the packet. It will shed. But it's going to be a fun race. It's going to be a fun race. I'll shoot some, I do it every year. So I'll shoot some video of it. The soap is very, very, very slick. Like I said, the scent is really, really cool. And they didn't send me this stuff. This stuff I bought. I love this stuff. You know, this is mine. I'm telling you, because I've tried it. Other people have recommended it, and they were right. Very, very good soap. I do remember in England, Guy Fawkes Day in November. Is it the 5th of November or the 6th of November? Gunpowder, treason, and plot. You know, I probably got it wrong. My relatives in the UK will say, you got it wrong. But I used to like that, and you used to get fireworks that exploded. They called them bangers. Now I think they call that for a sausage. But I remember they were pretty cool. You know, like Black Cat firecrackers here in the US, which I cannot get in my city. That's not right. But if you ever go to Las Vegas, here's a travel tip you won't see in the travel tip guide. If you ever go to Las Vegas, just outside of Las Vegas city limit, there's an Indian reservation, and I assume it's still there. And they had, you could buy firecrackers, M80s, quarter sticks of dynamite. You could buy a lot of cool, you know, mortars, you go, Disneyland quality. And they had 2 buildings, I remember. And it said, safe and sane. Well, you know, the sparklers and the fountains and the smoke bombs. And then they had unsafe and insane. And that's where I headed in. And they let us light them off right there on the premises. So we were, you know, having fun, because you can't do that. Not in California, you know, not in a lot of states. How is it in your state? If you live in the US, can you get Black Cat fireworks and, you know, cherry bombs and all of that cool stuff? Or do you have to do the safe and sane? Anyhow, have a terrific 4th, regardless. Shave is good. All right, cold water now. Cold water. I might put a clip in here. When I was at the beach the other day, I took the afternoon off. Like I said, I'd been taking some time off. I was at the beach with my wife, and we were watching sitting in Bolsa Chica State Beach in Huntington Beach. And I could see, you know, the water was actually quite green this time of year. I hate it when it's like brown looking, and this big black, looked like the blob, was moving north along the coast. This big black blob. And man, the birds were diving down. And I've never seen so many dolphins off the coast of California just jumping into this big black blob. And I went to the lifeguard. I said, what is that? And he goes, oh, that's a bait ball. He goes, that's the fish schooling so thick it appears to be a cloud. And I took a video. If it turned out any good, you can kind of see it in here. And if not, at least I tried.
Yep, I see him.
It was kind of awesome. All right. No nicks. Love that razor. And my face is still now cold. It is cold. Very cold. All right. Margaritas in the Arctic. I don't think they use this bottle anymore either. You can tell there's an old school Sterling bottle. Oh, man. Just smells fantastic. Here we go. Not too bad a burn. Oof, very cold. Very cold. And then it left. And now it's starting to get colder. If you've used it, you know what I'm talking about. Now it's getting colder. Colder, colder, colder. Oh man, what a great shave. Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. I'm looking forward to, having the new products, and I'm looking forward to doing that contest with you. Apologize for the delay. Some things are out of my control. Until next time, stay safe. Have a great 4th of July, and have a great weekend. All right, everybody. Bye for now.